What is social media? Social media consists of tools and websites used by cyberspace. This online media encourages online users to interact with celebrities, companies, brands, and other people around the world. The interactions within these communities consist of creating, publishing, and sharing content all over the World Wide Web for others to read and see. Social media brings all the traditional media such as television, radio, and newspaper into one place for people to access. What is social networking? Social networking are online services and tools that focus on the individuals and the things that the individuals publish on their public but private profile. Social networks interact over email and instant messaging, such as post and direct messages to different users. With these online communities, you are able to keep in touch with everyone at all times. Nowadays, it seems like everyone is connected with one another and the rest of the world at all times of the day. This is possible because of the power of the internet. The tools that the internet has provided us with are utilized by each and every individual. For example, search engines, online books, virtual teachers, and finances. One of the biggest crazes that people can't get enough of are social networks. Social network sites make up 1.2 billion users around the world. In the Wall Street Journal, a report from ComScoreDataMine.com said 1 in every 5 minutes spent online are spent on social network sites and social media.
To show you here, I thought was interesting. Apparently, 80% of the people in America get their political news online these days.
I believe
so,
it.
you know, where everyone's hooked into their laptops and their cell phones, and they get all of that.
It's the ADHD generation.
Exactly. Excuse me. So 80% there. That's a very telling stat. Also, with 20 million tweets, Election Day just became the most tweeted about event ever in the political history of the country. That's very telling. I think the old record from a few weeks ago was the first debate. Now the election, of course, surpassed that.
What does this mean for politics? This means that people are finding it easier to just go with what they see on their Twitter or Facebook accounts and do not double check their resources. So in terms of politics, a first glance is not always the best option to go with in terms of a person's view. In an article by the HuffPost Politics, they state that social networking sites play a huge role in influencing most U.S. users' political views, with the biggest impact being among Democrats. So those users that are always on the go don't always get the full information because of the limitations that these social networks have, such as how many characters you can type or post to elaborate more on a story. The problem that social networking brings to politics is that social networking is such a broad and free space to speak on. So journalistic integrity can be compromised and geared off the main story and twisted into their own views, either influencing the audience to be Democratic or Republican. Even though social networks do get political news out faster, it doesn't mean it's always correct. The more recent news is not always accurate. Also, another problem is selective criticism. An individual can put on their Facebook or Twitter account. The criticism can influence anyone since some profiles are public. In an article by CBSNews.com, a company called KitchenAid posted an offensive tweet about Obama's grandmother, stating, "Obama's Gma even knew it was going to be bad. She died 3 days before becoming president." After KitchenAid tweeted about Obama's grandmother, the second debate, Obama spoke about how his grandparents raised him as a child. The post was taken down immediately, and the editor of the account apologized to Obama and the Twitter community the next few minutes after. The solution to this problem would be to regulate what is being posted on social networks by regulating other profiles and what the individual posts by scanning for plagiarism so that the resources can be credible. The sources can add up and the user can see the various media that was used. The first glance should not be your first decision. When individuals post about politics, they can use other links to cite their resources, making it more credible. By starting with the younger generation, we should help them by educating and developing adequate critical thinking techniques in regards to U.S. politics. in our society.
Dave?
How about when you actually read or see something regarding politics on social networks that you guys use? Do you guys go with like the cover story, or do you guys do like extra research on it?
Yeah, I don't take it serious.
You don't?
Absolutely not.